Now let's discuss what's taking place right now inside the Democrat Party. And to do this, I'm going to kind of walk my way into where Chuck Schumer is today and Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi. But we're going to rewind just a little bit because I think it'll help understand what they're going through. And this is great news. I'm enjoying this. This is better news than the JFK files. So first, let's discuss Barack Obama, because a lot of this comes back to Barack Obama. There have been Democrats and Republicans since basically forever in this country. There was nothing new. You had your Clintons and Reagans and the Fords and Carters, and you had all these types. But Barack Obama came along and he really, really changed so much. And he changed so much for this reason. He's very, very sharp. Don't send me your emails. I hate him. That's not what I said, okay? I hate him too. But he's very sharp, very charismatic. And what he did was he knew how to put on a very moderate, reasonable, very charming face, soaring speeches. He knew how to cloak what was actually inside of Barack Obama, and that is born and bred hatred of America. We've had plenty of bad presidents, Republicans and Democrats, right? I can't stand FDR, right? But FDR didn't hate America. I can't stand Jimmy Carter. He was an awful president. That's almost universally acknowledged. Terrible, dreadful. Did Jimmy Carter hate America? I don't think I'd go that far. Barack Obama did. That's how he was raised. Frank Marshall Davis, he hated America. But again, he knew how to mask it like most communists do. So he got into office using all that charisma. He gets into office, but when he got into office, he did something totally different. He started putting into place throughout the government the most radical anti-Americans he could find. And not just in normal places where a president would, Secretary of State or ambassador to this. Barack Obama, he cleaned out the FBI. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. Who's he putting into place? He's putting into place committed Maoists who will go after his political opponents. And he did this branch after branch, piece after piece of the federal government. 8 years, we had an anti-American remaking this country, and more importantly, for the purposes of where we're at today, remaking the Democrat Party. You see, he got into office pretending to be some moderate, very reasonable guy. Cool, hey, look at my NCAA bracket. But the people he brought in, they didn't feel the need to mask any of that. He brought into and mainstreamed people like Newland, Lisa Monaco, Susan Rice, real born and bred American haters who would implement that vision and change the Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party slowly but surely changed under Barack Obama. And they began courting the most evil, depraved anti-Americans in the country. This is all taking place under Barack Obama's presidency. Now, towards the end of that, the American people, I'm not talking about you, you always knew what was going on, but the normies, the norms, the people who kind of half pay attention, they didn't realize what Barack Obama was, even at the end of his 8 years, but they knew something seems off, something seems wrong. They elected Donald Trump. Then Donald Trump, and all of us, frankly, discovered what Obama had been doing. We didn't truly discover it until Donald Trump got elected. When Donald Trump was completely destroyed, his first presidency completely destroyed from within the government by all the communists, Obama put it into place. He put into place a system of radicalism, full-blown cultural Marxism. Destroyed Trump's presidency. They impeached him a couple times. But during this entire time, the party's going further left, further left, further left, more rabid to a level we've never really seen before. Are you still shocked sometimes? You turn on the television, there are Teslas burning in a parking lot, and you're thinking, what in the world? Barack Obama helped author all of this stuff. So Donald Trump gets impeached, gets his presidency destroyed for 4 years, and they install Joe Biden. Now, this is when all the stuff, all the problems of the modern Democrat Party got turned into hyperdrive. The modern Democrat Party would actually have been better off without Joe Biden because Joe Biden got elected. Only Joe Biden is a walking cadaver with dementia. He can't think. He's not strong. He doesn't know anything. He walked around drooling on himself. And he put those very same Maoists all around him, and he was never strong enough to keep them in check. So they just did things like, hey, let's open up the border. And there's Joe in the corner, border? And then it just kept taking that further. Well, wait a minute, let's not just open up the border. Let's bring in as many people as we can. And there's Joe drooling on himself. Okay, let's fly them into the country. Hey, somebody create an app so they can just come in by an app. And they brought in as many rapists and murderers in the country. And there's Joe drooling on himself, never able to keep the worst instincts of the Democrats in check. And along this way, Nancy Pelosi was there too. Getting older, you see. Remember Donald Trump's presidency the first time? Remember when he got impeached? Do you know it was Nancy Pelosi who fought off that impeachment for a couple years because she knew it would make her party look bad? It's not that I love Nancy Pelosi, but she was old enough, savvy enough to know, guys, it's going to make us look bad. It's going to go too far. Finally, she broke. And the animals came storming through. As Nancy Pelosi got older and weaker, Joe Biden, old and weak, the savages that were brought into the Democrat Party. All this began under Barack Obama. The savages came in and slowly but surely started taking over the Democrat Party. And I told you about this years ago, that this was happening, that the Pelosi types, the Joe Biden types, really what was getting them was father time. None of us are getting younger. Look at me. None of us are getting younger. They got older, they got weaker, as we all will. And soon you couldn't hold back the AOCs anymore. You couldn't hold back the Rashida Tlaibs, the Jasmine Crockett's. So what happened recently? What's going on? Well, Chuck Schumer had an option. He's the most powerful Democrat, really in the House or Senate, but in the Senate, he's the most powerful Democrat. And they had that continuing resolution coming through. And Chuck Schumer was presented with two options. And of course, he's not going to like either of them. That's part of being in the minority. We've been in the minority many times before. His options were, I can get a few Democrat votes and get this CR passed, or I can stop it and shut down the government, which Democrats would have to own. And his options are awful because Americans liked what was in the CR, because things that were in the CR were things like border security, things like that. Americans wanted that stuff in the CR. They wanted it in there. And I realize there's another bill coming, but Americans wanted the CR. Chuck Schumer looked at his party and said, hey, the smart thing politically is to pass the CR. Maybe if we don't, we look terrible. So we passed it. The Democrat Party now, run by the animals, is in full-blown revolt. Chuck Schumer had to cancel his book tour, not because of you or me. He had to cancel the book tour because the street animals across the country, the Democrat base, they're so angry with him, they were going to protest and scream at him and things. Today, he's out there trying to do this apology tour.
Democrats are talking about they're going to Medicaid centers. They're going to people who would be deprived and
Senator, people don't have faith in the Democrats.
Well, let me say this.
And it gives me no pleasure to say this to you because we are friends, but I think you caved. I think you and 9 other Democrats caved. I don't think you showed the fight that this party needs right now.
So a lot of people responded to the anguish. I appreciate it. I wake up 3 a.m. sometimes so worried about the future of the country under these oligarchs or klepto, whatever, or, oligarchs, yeah. I guess.
Yes.
And, but you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or, I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, the land and water that I own, or my employees. They hate government. Government's a barrier to people, a barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
Those last little bits, what did you see there? Does Chuck Schumer really wake up at 3 a.m. upset about Elon Musk? No, he doesn't care about any of that stuff. Does Chuck Schumer really think it's smart to tell you that you're not supposed to keep your business and keep your money? No, that little tidbit, you're going to see that on campaign ads in the midterms. That was a disastrous thing to put on television. So what's he doing? Why would he say it? He's trying to keep the animals at bay. He's trying as best he can to placate the savages in his party. Look, Hakeem Jeffries is the minority leader in the House of Representatives. He and Schumer should be like this. Hakeem, he knows there's trouble.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Mr. Leader.
First, can you clarify?
That's an easy answer unless You're Hakeem Jeffries, and you're also trying to keep the animals in check. And the animals don't want to be kept in check, as you see. Again, clear back to Barack Obama, this is what the Democrat Party became. The squad, they can't get their face off the news.
Chuck Schumer, I guess the Senate Democratic leader, your senator, said at this meeting that he is going to vote for cloture. He is going to vote to allow there to be a simple majority vote. You think that's wrong?
I believe that's a tremendous mistake. To me, it is almost unthinkable why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that we have away for free when we've been sent here to protect Social Security, protect Medicaid, and protect Medicare.
You're close with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, then I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years, if we will have elections. And so I definitely think that younger, fresher leadership may be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
They're in complete disarray. As the old guard fades away, the young savages are taking over. Kind of frightening, but kind of hilarious to watch. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.